can expect a very full and substantive agenda for the President as the 47th ASEAN Summit marks the turnover of the chairship of ASEAN from Malaysia to the Philippines. So the President will be having 14 leaders-level meetings. So that means that aside from the ASEAN Summit itself, he will be joining the ASEAN Summits with our dialogue partners, including Australia, China, India, the United States, and ROK, and Japan. So these are just among the bilateral meetings at the ASEAN level that he will be joining. And then on the economic front, there will also be the meeting of the fifth meeting of the RCEP, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. And there will also be what we call ASEC, the ASEAN Zero Emissions Community. And then, aside from all of that, he will also be having at the sidelines of the ASEAN summits, bilateral meetings with his counterparts. You know, an ASEAN summit is an opportunity to have many leaders all together at once, and so to maximize the presence of the President here as well as of having his counterparts here, he will be having quite a number of bilateral meetings as well. There will also be continued discussion on the implementation of the 5-point consensus which relates to Myanmar. And of course, for the Philippines and for the President, he will continue to promote and advocate for our Philippine interests in ASEAN, including in asserting our sovereignty, sovereign rights, and jurisdiction in the South China Sea, and asserting, of course, the respect for the rule of law, including UNCLOS. ASEAN is the core regional group that the Philippines belongs to. And for this year, and for this summit, the chairship of ASEAN will pass over from Malaysia to the Philippines. Literally, you will have a passing over of the flag of ASEAN to the President, to the Philippines. And that takes on a full responsibility because it's not just a national agenda for us, it's not just a bilateral agenda for Philippines and Malaysian relations, but it's an agenda for the entire Southeast Asian ASEAN region. So it's really very important that the President is here because the fact that it is in Malaysia, that it is in the neighboring, it's in a neighboring state, means that all the more it's more important because it's in our, in our neighborhood, and that is the most important among all our the core of our relations. As incoming ASEAN chair, the President has said it's important that we build on the initiatives and the successes that Malaysia has built on, because what Malaysia has also done is also build on the initiatives of previous ASEAN chairs. So even as we prioritize and we have our advocacies, it is still important that we continue on the initiatives of ASEAN because each chair carries forth the agenda of ASEAN. So that is how we say we have solidarity, we have continuity. And that is most important in relation to, as I said, the implementation of the 5-point consensus in relation to Myanmar. Malaysia has done a lot, and we really are very appreciative of the hard work that they have put in. And we have to build on that because there's so much hard work that has already been done, so much engagement. So we will be continuing to work on that. Since it was announced that we would be the next year after Malaysia, our government has already been preparing from, deciding what would be our main theme, what would be the priority areas that we would tackle, and then what are these, again, you said, the themes of continuity that need to be worked on. Now, one important thing that we had here under Malaysia's chairmanship is the adoption of the ASEAN Community Vision for 2045, which basically sets out the vision of ASEAN for itself in the next 20 years. So we need to follow through on that because it covers all pillars of ASEAN: political, socio-economic, and community. And starting with our chairmanship, we start the road to building and implementing that ASEAN Community Vision.